An old man and a little girl. They have nothing except each other. No money, no home, no one coming for them. Just the two of them against a world that was never built for people like them, and the love between them will break you before this story is halfway done. Welcome to Asian Recap. This is Cherry Tomato, a 2008 Korean film about poverty, sacrifice, and a love so quiet it barely makes a sound. Seoul, a street outside a courier depot. Park Gu, 70s, weathered down to the bone, is supposed to be watching packages. His 6-year-old granddaughter Da Seong sits wrapped in a blanket beside him, hiding from his cigarette smoke. She's known better than to ask him to stop. Then a stranger steps in front of them. Both go rigid. It's Da Seong's father, Chun-sam, just out of prison. Her mother died giving birth to her. Park Gu has raised her alone since day one. She barely knows this man's face. Chun-sam reaches into a bag and hands her a small cherry tomato seedling, her very first gift from her father. Da Seong holds it with both hands like it might break, like it already means the world. Park Gu cuts through the moment immediately. He can't afford school fees. If Chun-sam wants to be a father, now is the time. Chun-sam ignores this and asks about the pension money. Park Gu erupts. That money is the only thing keeping them alive. Chun-sam fires back. When he was a child, Park Gu drank everything away. Couldn't even afford a polio vaccine for his own son. The leg never healed. Park Gu goes silent. There's nothing to say. That night, all three sleep side by side. Da Seong in the middle, fingers locked around her father's hand, believing that if she holds on tight enough, he cannot leave. In the dead of night, Park Gu gets up to hide his savings. Chun-sam's voice comes from the dark. I've already seen it. If I wanted to steal it, I would have. Then, almost a whisper, Father, if I ever leave again, I will come back, I promise. Morning. Da Seong's screams tear through the house. Chun-sam is gone. The savings cabinet is empty. She held his hand all night. Still, he left. Park Gu runs into the street until his legs give out. He collapses on the curb. Da Seong finds him there. She places a cigarette in his hand, drapes her own jacket over his shoulders, and walks away calling back. Make sure you eat lunch on time, Grandpa. He goes to face his boss. With nothing to repay the loan, he pleads. Without this job, his granddaughter won't eat. Fired on the spot. He comes home to a dark room. Da Seong is already asleep. She left food out for him, the larger portion saved for him, barely touching her own. He stares at her sleeping face. You were born into the wrong home. An old man like me can't even give you 3 meals a day. He moves the cherry tomato plant away from her pillow. She stirs, puts on her glasses, gazes at it, then curls back around it, holding her father's only gift like it's all she has left of him. Because it is. Park Gu takes to the streets with a cart, collecting bottles and scrap paper. The plastic crackles under his hands in the cold morning air. Another collector rams his cart over territory. He fights back. He drags the load through traffic all day. Cars honking, drivers shouting, not one of them seeing what this man is carrying inside. When he goes to sell, the buyer falsifies the weight to cheat him. The world finds ways to take from the ones who already have nothing. The shantytown is being demolished, and this is where things start to turn. Clashes erupt between residents and riot police. In the chaos, Park Gu watches his cart crushed beneath boots and batons, his last lifeline, gone in seconds. He screams for someone to save it. Nobody comes. He stands in the wreckage and weeps in the street. Da Seong's glasses crack in another clash. An officer moves to arrest Park Gu. Da Seong screams, "He is the only person I have in this world." The officer lets them go. Across the city that same evening, inside a vast mansion, a wealthy businessman named Kap Soo watches premium cuts of meat arranged on a silver dish. Not for guests, not for family, for his dog. He spends hundreds of thousands of won on the animal every month. His wife quietly mentions they still don't have a child. He doesn't look up. Walking the streets with a half-blind granddaughter, Park Gu buys her a cheap hollow pancake. When he discovers it's empty, he turns to scold the vendor. Da Seong stops him and points to a sign right in front of them, explaining exactly this. She says quietly, "You shouldn't scold people before reading." He snaps, One more word, and he'll leave her at an orphanage. The word hits her like a blow. She drops the pancake, walks ahead in silence, crying without sound. She will never leave his side. Not even after this. A neighbor calls out, "Chun-sam phoned. He's coming back. He has money. He'll take them somewhere better." For one moment, both of them breathe. Across the city, Chun-sam loads stolen fish onto a truck, already planning Da-seong's new life. School, new clothes, everything she never had. He stops at a restroom and whispers alone in the stall, "Da-seong, I'm coming back. You won't have to pretend in front of your friends anymore." He comes out. His friend is gone. Truck, fish, everything, vanished. Chun-sam breaks down in the parking lot. He has nothing to offer his daughter. He never did. At that same moment, hired thugs are flattening the last homes in the shantytown. They beat Park Gu when he tries to stop them. Da-seong throws herself in front of him and gets shoved hard to the ground. The second lens of her glasses shatters under a thug's boot right in front of her face. She goes still, stands slowly, walks forward a few steps and whispers, "Dad, I miss you so much. Where are you?" If you want more stories like this, subscribe. We post every week. Now, back to Park Gu and Da-seong. Everyone sleeps under open sky. Da-seong moves quietly through the rubble, picking something up. She smiles when Park Gu asks about it, says nothing. They haven't eaten since the day before. At a small restaurant, Da-seong picks the cheapest item on the menu. Park Gu says he already ate. He didn't. When the table beside them clears, he quietly carries the stranger's leftovers back to his own seat and eats in silence. Da-seong sees it. She keeps her eyes on her bowl. She says nothing. She just eats and keeps the pain entirely to herself. They find their way to Kap-soo's mansion, the man whose company demolished their home. The gate swings open for a moment and they slip inside. It clicks shut behind them. Auto lock. They're trapped. What happens next, neither of them could have planned. Cold, they retreat into the house. Park Gu opens the refrigerator and the light spills out across his face. He has never seen this much food in one place. He calls Da-seong over. They eat together like they've found buried treasure, laughing both of them for the first time in weeks. The fridge hums, the house is warm. For one evening, none of it exists. Later, Park Gu draws Da-seong a bath, dog shampoo, neither knowing the difference. Hot water flows by accident. She shrieks with delight. He watches her laugh and laughs with her. Then he says he needs to go out. She begs to come. He promises he'll be back before evening. She cries as he walks away. Outside, he reaches into his pocket and takes out Da-seong's broken glasses, the ones he's been carrying for days. He stands in the rain, holding them. He's thinking about not coming back. If someone finds her here, in a house like this, maybe they'll take her in. A life with him is no life at all. He stands in front of an eyeglass shop, rain running down the glass. Every pair costs more than his entire month's income. He cannot do even this one small thing for her. Back at the mansion, Da-seong waits. Hours. She runs to the gate at every sound. Nothing. She sinks to the floor and whispers into the dark, "Grandpa, I don't need the food. I just want to be with you even on an empty stomach." Same storm. Park Gu on a wet curb soaking through. Chun-sam somewhere in the same city, thinking of his daughter. 3 people, same storm, kept apart by broken promises in a world that never gave any of them enough. Park Gu cannot stay away. He comes back at dawn. Da-seong opens the door, eyes swollen, face raw. He steps inside. "I will never leave you anywhere. Never again." He puts meat in front of her. The dog's meat, treated better than she ever was. She eats with total satisfaction. He watches and doesn't touch his own plate. That night she wakes repeatedly, pale, cramping, weakening. Park Gu assumes her body isn't used to rich food. He doesn't know what was done to that meat. He doesn't know why the dog refused it. Back on the streets, Da-seong's body is failing, but her eyes stay clear. She takes his hand. "Grandpa, the open sky is so beautiful. Rich people don't have this kind of peace." Then her bag slips. Cigarettes scatter across the pavement. He stares at them. The night their home was demolished, she was picking something up from the rubble with a mysterious smile. It was this. She looks down. "I was saving them for your New Year's gift." He can barely speak. Her fever climbs. She wants one thing, The meat from the mansion. Park Gu buys her regular market meat. She won't touch it. He loses patience. She coughs harder. He sits outside in the dark, listening to her through the wall, utterly unable to reach her. He takes her to the hospital. A nurse asks for money before she can even be seen. The doctor examines her briefly. Nothing serious, just depleted. Go home. Give her good food. He's already walking away before Park Gu can finish his question. That same night, Kapsu's mansion blazes with light. A party, tables overflowing, laughter at every window. And here, Da Seong, under a thin blanket, shivering, whispering, "Don't leave me, Grandpa. Stay right next to me." Then, barely audible, "I want the meat." He goes back in the dark, and this is where he makes a choice no one should have to make. He reaches for the dog's bowl. The dog lunges and bites down on his arm. He does not let go. He bleeds. He holds on. Kapsu's wife watches from above, this old man saying into the dark, "I will bring this meat back to my granddaughter no matter what." She watches. She does nothing. He tears free. Walks home, bleeding through empty streets, pushes the door open, holds the bag toward her. "Get up, Da-seong. I've got it. Come and eat." Silence. He calls her name again, reaches down, touches her still, small body. She's gone. He pulls her against his chest. The sound that comes out of him is not crying. It's something inside him, finally breaking. Morning. Park Gu sits outside in the pale, early light. He reaches into Da-seong's bag and takes out one of the cigarettes she saved for his New Year's gift. He lights it. The smoke rises slowly in the cold air. He stares at something far away that no one else can see. Beside him, in a small patch of carefully turned earth, the cherry tomato seedling stands, her father's only gift to her, now planted where she rests. The morning breeze moves through the leaves, gently, as if it knows. What would you have done in Park Gu's place? Leave a comment. One word is enough.